The state of Washington is in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. It is often referred to as Washington State to distinguish it from the national capital, both named for George Washington, the first U.S. president. Washington was named after President George Washington by an act of the United States Congress during the creation of Washington Territory in 1853. The territory was to be named Columbia for the Columbia River and the Columbia District, but Kentucky Representative Richard Stanton found the name too similar to the District of Columbia and proposed naming the new territory after President Washington. It is the only U.S. state named after a president. Washington became the 42nd state of the United States on November 11, 1889, when, due to the request of the growing population of Oregon Territory north of the Columbia River, Washington is the 18th largest state, with an area of 71,298 square miles and the 13th most populous state, with more than 7.8 million people. The majority of Washington's residents live in the Seattle metropolitan area. Washington has a temperate climate. The eastern half has a semi-arid to warm summer Mediterranean climate, while the western side and the coastal areas have a cool oceanic climate or warm summer Mediterranean climate. Washington has a variety of National Park Service units. Among these are the Alta Lake State Park, Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area, San Juan Islands National Wildlife Refuge, as well as 3 national parks, the Olympic National Park, North Cascades National Park, and Mount Rainier National Park. Washington has a relatively strong economy, with a total GSP of $612,996.5 million in 2019, placing it 5th in the nation and growing by 6.5% per year, the fastest rate in the United States. The minimum wage was set at $11 in 2017 and has increased annually based on a cost of living index. Several cities have higher minimum wages, such as Seattle at $18.69 as of 2023. In September 2023, the state's unemployment rate was 3.6%, ranked 36th among states. Significant business within the state include the design and manufacture of aircrafts, computer software development, electronics, biotechnology, aluminum production, lumber and wood products, mining, beverages, real estate, retail, and tourism. The state of Washington is one of 7 states that do not levy a personal income tax. The state does not collect a corporate income tax or franchise tax either. Washington businesses are responsible for various other state levies, including the business and occupation tax, a gross receipts tax which charges varying rates for different types of businesses. The state-based sales tax is 6.5%, which is combined with a local sales tax that varies by locality. The combined state and local retail sales tax rates increase the taxes paid by consumers, depending on the variable local sales tax rates, generally between 7.5% and 10%. An excise tax applies to certain products like gasoline, cigarettes, and alcoholic beverages. Property tax was the first tax levied in the state, and its collection accounts for about 30% of the total state and local revenue. It continues to be the most important revenue source for public schools, fire protection, libraries, parks and recreation, and other special purpose districts. All real property and personal property are subject to tax, unless specifically exempted by law. Most personal property owned by individuals is exempt from tax. Personal property tax applies to personal property used when conducting business, or to other personal property not exempt by law. Washington is a leading agricultural state. In 2018, the total value of Washington's agricultural products was $10.6 billion. In 2014, Washington ranked first in the nation in production of red raspberries, hops, spearmint oil, wrinkled seed peas, apples, sweet cherries, pears, Concord grapes, carrots for processing, and green peas for processing. The apple industry is of particular importance to Washington. Because of the favorable climate of dry, warm summers and cold winters of central Washington, The state has led the U.S. in apple production since the 1920s. The state is typically thought of as politically divided by the Cascade Mountains, with western Washington being liberal and eastern Washington being conservative. Although the eastern half of the state votes heavily Republican, the overwhelming Democratic dominance in the Seattle metropolitan area has turned Washington into a reliably blue state. It is considered part of the blue wall of states that have voted Democratic in every presidential election since 1992. No state has gone longer without a Republican governor than Washington. In the 2020-2021 school year, 1,094,330 students were enrolled in elementary and secondary schools in Washington, with 67,841 teachers employed to educate them. Elementary and secondary schools are under the jurisdiction of the Washington State Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. High school juniors and seniors in Washington have the option of using the state's Running Start program. Begun by the state legislature in 1990, it allows students to attend institutions of higher education at public expense, simultaneously earning high school and college credit. The state has 141 schools that offer dual language programs in 14 languages, primarily Spanish, beginning in kindergarten. The state also has several public arts-focused high schools, including Tacoma School of the Arts, the Vancouver School of Arts and Academics, and the Center School. There are also 4 science and math-based high schools, one in the Tri-Cities known as Delta, one in Tacoma known as Sammy, another in Seattle known as Raisbeck Aviation High School, and one in Redmond known as Tesla STEM High School.